Are you ready? It's time for Entertainment Gist, and we've got with us... Oh, the lights went out. What happened? Eclipse Nkassi is in the house. Yay!
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm sorry I always pronounce it in the South African way. It just sounds so good.
See, I'll let you have it the first time. This time we're going to fight. I came prepared.
Good to have you back, man. Been
good to be
following
here.
you on Instagram and your material. It's very interesting.
Thank you. I mean, since the last time we spoke, I did go on to create Africa's first AI-powered music
Yes,
album.
I saw that.
So I think I should. I'm allowed a little.
You are allowed to flick off your shoulders. How's that going, and why was that an interest?
First and foremost, it's great. Secondly, I mean, it's just the wave and the direction things are going. I noticed that like since last year, but I was curious. It was an experiment that became a full-fledged project. I just wanted to figure out what's possible and what do I think, is next in the future. But I think it's exciting, even though I know people are worried and scared.
Very worried, because at this point, anybody can make music.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, but there will still be limits to it. It's a tool like anything else, like we've seen in the past,
It's going to be limited to how well you can use that.
Yeah, I mean, the guys who were making music back in the 70s or 60s, when people had to literally play every instrument, will cry.
Yeah.
Knowing that we all do that now with, one
a
computer and one
synthesizer.
laptop. So it's a similar thing. I just think that it's a tool, and if people embrace it faster, it'd be better for them. But
Fantastic. Don't fear AI. Don't worry, it's here as a tool. Let's get into the news for today. Now, let's talk about baby mama dramas. This famous Nigerian Afrobeats musician, David Adeleke, you know him as Davido. Well, he performed at the 2023 Afro Nation Festival in Portugal amid his baby mama wahala pregnancy scandal and everything that goes with it. Now, he performed some of his hit songs at the grand finale of the festival, which started on June 28th and ended on the 30th. He performed alongside Fireboy, Veg Dream, and also 50 Cent as well. Burna Boy was there, Arya Star, the Celestial Being, Ashake, can't have a concert without him. He was there. He earlier performed at the festival on Wednesday. Yo, man, this man is out performing like nothing is happening in his life, but there's so much happening. Apparently, at the moment, 3 people at least have come out to tell that they're either still pregnant or had been pregnant for him. There's concerns about his wife, Chioma, whether she's pregnant, and how all of this is also affecting her. Entertainment can be quite the space, man. It's a zoo. But what do you think? How do you see this following through? How do you see?
wait, what do I think about a man who people are saying they have babies on the way for him, and he's out working to make the money that the babies they will be having will
That's
be
a man,
needing? I mean, sounds like a hard-working dad to me.
True,
But,
yeah.
I'm being a little playful with it, but in reality, I think that whatever the drama is, he has to do what he has to do while we sort out the right and wrongs, or because people are treating this issue with a lot of sentiment. So
You're looking at the morality of it, actually.
yeah, so and this is what I mean. So for example, you have like the girl, I can't remember her name, the last one who just
Anita?
came out. No, Anita. Anita's
French
the
lady?
first one. The French, after the French, there's one new one.
Jesus, I've lost count.
And she's like, I'm one of the victims of the pregnancy.
the victim one, yeah.
That word, let's go easy.
Slow down.
Was most likely consensual. You guys,
Absolutely.
it's been a minute. It just didn't pan out how you wanted, and I get the grievance, and we can have that conversation. But let's pick these words carefully, So I think all in all, Davido will sort out what he will sort out. Most importantly, also feel a lot of them are like these are like personal issues. It's not
Shouldn't be,
Nigerians'
yeah,
problem. Like it's either we're forgetting to focus on our problems or we're distracting ourselves from our problems. So I would say that while we want to speak out on a personal or moral level, we think it's reckless. He could have done better, but not my circus, not my monkeys, man.
Well, true. Regarding the recklessness of it all, his choice in women, especially with Anita being someone of alternate means of making a living, if you remember how her story goes, his choice of women is something that people are very concerned and how it affects his family that he's trying to grow. He's not a new dad. I mean, he's been a dad for quite a while with his 3 kids, and he lost one. So he's actually a mature man. So would you think that it's okay for somebody who has that status in the music industry, an African, a Nigerian export, to make these kinds of choices when it comes to the women that he wants to be with?
I think I would be wrong to try and speak to a grown man in terms of how he should handle his personal life. I think everybody would be wrong to do that. We have expectations from celebrities, but those are just our expectations. Ultimately, people are people. And they're going to make mistakes. Plus, his reality is something that, we can't fathom. So while there are people who are doing better, and we hope he would do better by our standards, but it's ultimately up to him, and the people around him are also making these decisions. They're all adults. There's no minor involved. There's none of those situations. So it's, how they say, like you play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like it's life. So you make the choices you make, you live with repercussions. But it's primarily his thing. I know that there's always going to still be that sentiment because we always look up to these celebrities as role models.
Yeah.
And maybe that says more about us than them. To know that you can also look up too closely to people like that and say, okay, hey, it's like being a Burna Boy fan, it's like being a Kanye West fan. They make excellent music, but every now and then they're going to be in the news for something that we don't even know how to start defending, you know, and
true.
It's one of those.
Very intelligent way to put it, Nkassi. Thank you very much. Let's move on now. Let's talk Selena Gomez. Now, recently, she opened up about how Nigerian artist Rema, yes, how his track Calm Down has had a profound impact on her life and I'm very sure her career as well. Now, the American pop singer and actress who has a huge social media following took to her Instagram to share her gratitude for featuring Rema on being featured on Calm Down. Now, she posted this. She said, quote here, "This man has changed my life forever. Rema, thank you for choosing me to be a part of one of the biggest songs in the world. Love you forever." Is there anything else inside of that relationship that might be more than just music? Your face changed. I'm in the press. I have to ask these questions, man. Don't shoot the messenger.
No, man, I mean, I feel like it's funny to me because Nigerians were actually mad at Rema for doing that remix in the beginning. If you remember when they did the song, I was like, yeah, why is he her? Why is he her? People were in their feelings. It's not great. It's not great. It's going to be a really huge record.
Yeah.
And the person who's on it is appreciative of it. And I think that till they say otherwise, they look like they have a very solid...
Who used who? Rema's music became stadium music. Selena Gomez has a very big social media following. Rema's become more popular. She has the privilege of being on a hit track that will go down in history as one of the biggest African exports to the world, not just the world. And when we say the world in terms of music, normally it's kind of like we're only talking about America. But in this case, he's being played in Europe. He's big. So who used who?
Nobody. It's mutually beneficial. Like, why do we have to think about it that way? Like, I feel like it's the reason why they did it in the first place. You know, you have something I want, I have something you want, you know, let's trade. And now we're having more conversations about her this way. And I'm sure with her, she wanted to sink in her music a little bit more towards this side. And that's fine.
Yeah,
you know, we always get in our feelings when people go out. So it's like we wanted all this attention. We finally have it. But now we're touchy. We want to keep it. We're like that kid that doesn't want to share his toy. We're like, no, it's mine. Mine. There's like, of course not. Like, you know, Burna Boy is somebody who's worked with artists that are like, you wouldn't have imagined. You know, like there was a time when we wouldn't have imagined a Burna Boy and Coldplay. You know, so I mean, of course, not the entire band, but he worked with Chris Martin. He worked with. I hear there's a song with Lionel Richie, even though I don't think that's out yet. So,
that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see how far we're going, and we're reaping the reward. I mean, although the downside of Afrobeats to the world is that Nigerians are now having to fly in Nigerian artists to perform in Lagos because half the time they're not in Nigeria.
Yes, exactly. Well, they're welcome anyhow. They're welcome.
Yeah.
Let's move on now. Let's talk about this now. Through award-winning Nigerian proficient disc jockey and also song composer DJ Spinall, he came through with a brand new extraordinary piece of music tagged Loju. Have you heard it? You heard it?
Yeah, I have.
Very fantastic
Beautiful video.
one. Now, there was Wizkid on this one, and Spinall, it's a good combination. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you seeing for this piece?
On a scale of 1 to Wizkid, I'll say it's a 9.
It's a 9.
On a scale of 1 to Wizkid.
A 9 for Spinall or a 9 for Wizkid?
I mean...
Let's just separate the two now. Is it a 9
It's tough too because he's a DJ, so primarily it's Wizkid, the artist, carrying the song. You know, so, but I would give Spinall the credit because he picks the right instrumentals, you know, links up with the right artists. But as far as the actual output, it's hard for me to see past the performing artist. So I think it's a really solid record. Even though it's still Wizkid being in this his Made of Lagos bag that I would personally like to hear a little bit more than, but...
Well, you don't think that Wizkid might get to a point where he's a bit too international? That Lagos vibe we absolutely like. It's representative of Nigeria. If he goes outside of that form, do you think it's...
No, I'm not even saying Lagos vibe. I'm saying the Made of Lagos, that album. There's that sound that kind of happened. This is really chill thing that is great. It just don't... I would just like a little more every now and then. You know,
fantastic. So. Maybe we'll take that video and see what it's like. And you know, but I wanted to say thank you very much. Your reviews on our segment is always so interesting. You guys should follow Eclipse Nkassi on Instagram. He's fantastic.
Pleasure.
His material is always so good. Content, something that is very intellectual. And I think you're one of the best out there when it comes to reviewing and talking about Nigerian entertainment.